Patriots Nation, tonight is a turning point. The locker room is buzzing, and one technical detail might raise our ceiling again. A certain number, 10, is playing on another plane, but that's not the whole story. There's a veteran target who could unlock the vertical game, surprise visitors at Gillette who could shake up the secondary, praise from the last place you'd expect, and a practice tweak that explains why the ball keeps landing in the right hands. Ready for unfiltered truth? You won't believe what we've got. So take a seat, hit like, and let's jump straight in. What happens when talent, discipline, and belief collide in the same locker room? You're seeing it. The fans who kept the faith are now watching a team near the top of the AFC at 5-2, riding a 4-game heater with an offense that finally scares people again. The engine? A 23-year-old who flipped the switch in the second half against Buffalo and hasn't looked back. Drake May stepped into MVP mode, and honestly, nobody doubts anymore that the future is already here. Since that Bills second half, May has read the field with ice in his veins. He isn't just running the plan, he's elevating it. And here's the kicker. He's doing it with a receiver group that many labeled limited months ago. Now the attack is layered at every depth. Quick hitters, intermediate daggers, and moonballs, executed with surgical confidence. But the front office isn't sitting still. Even with Stefon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte settled as the top duo, a name is floating around back channels: DeAndre Hopkins. Yes, the contested catchmaster producing quietly in Baltimore. By efficiency, he's been one of the league's sharpest, even on limited snaps, pushing nearly 20 yards a catch and not putting a ball on the turf this year. That's elite. Would he be the final piece that turns a great attack into a nightmare? Hopkins brings size, craft, and that above-the-rim ability to steal first downs in January. Analysts have already linked him to teams that live off downfield strikes, and New England is right in that conversation. The timeline matters. If there's a moment to swing, it's now, not to rearrange the core, but to sharpen the edges without touching the chemistry Diggs and Boutte have built with May. Contenders stay proactive. Second place in the AFC isn't the destination, it's the launch pad. This is how you send a message to the whole conference. We're not back just to compete, we're back to dictate terms. Meanwhile, Foxborough's week opened with movement that felt more like a diagnostic than a headline, and that's exactly why it matters. When New England brings defensive backs in for workouts, it's about stress testing depth before the winter grind. 3 names popped: Lewis Sine, Marcus Banks, and Trey Hawkins III. Each one fills a different need lane. Sin draws the spotlight. A 2022 first-rounder out of Georgia, national champion, CFP title game defensive MVP, his resume screams difference maker, even if injuries and timing have blunted his NFL arc so far. He also has Massachusetts roots, which is more than a footnote. That kind of reconnection can light a fuse. Vrabel covets players with an edge, guys who carry a quiet grudge against their own ceiling. Sini fits. Banks, the Alabama-Mississippi State product, brings straight-line speed and nickel flexibility. He can be a matchup answer for motion-heavy looks and be a plus on special teams. Hawkins offers length, functional experience, and plenty of snaps on teams. A 6'3" corner who can contest the catch and make you comfortable dressing 4 or 5 DBS without blinking. The roster is full, but the intent is obvious: test, measure, and be ready to act. Dominant teams win on Sundays, complete teams survive November. This coaching staff knows how fast depth can evaporate at corner and safety. If one of these workouts sticks, it's not about headlines, it's about tightening the screws so pressure packages can stay creative, so the back end can disguise late, and so you don't have to go conservative on 3rd and 7 in the 4th quarter of a 1-score game. That's how you play to win the month, not just the down. There's a new electricity around New England, and it's not nostalgia, it's present tense. The team is 5-2, winners of 4 straight, and people who weren't buying a month ago are suddenly leaning in. The win over the Titans, Mike Vrabel's former team, carried weight beyond the score. It was a statement about identity, hard, organized, and explosive when the lever gets pulled. And the praise came from an unexpected direction. Former Tennessee GM Rand Carthon publicly hyped what Vrabel is building, while the decision to move on from Vrabel back in 2024 belonged to owner Amy Adams Strunk. Call it irony, call it clarity. Either way, when skeptics start switching sides, you know you're onto something. Vrabel didn't promise magic. He built a program. Veteran or rookie, everyone speaks the same language now. Discipline, execution, next snap. That mindset flipped the room from hopeful to dangerous in a handful of weeks. Drake May might be the soul of the reboot, but Vrabel is the architect, and the balance is unmistakable. A creative offense wedded to a defense that tackles with bad intentions. When even rivals admit the trajectory is real, you're seeing a culture take root in real time. First place in the division is a target-rich environment, and the Browns coming to town only raises the stakes and the volume inside the building. If you've watched this team daily, you know success isn't random, it's reps and obsession over small things. One of those small things, ball security, has quietly reshaped the offense. In the quarterback period, coaches swing padded bags, swipe at the ball, manufacture chaos, and demand one response: 2 hands, calm feet, clean exit. Last year, May put it on the ground 9 times and lost 6. This year, through 7 games, 2 total, none since week 3. That's not luck. It's a technical rewrite choreographed with Josh McDaniels and QB coach Ashton Grant. Hand placement, pocket glide, base control, decision clock, every beat tightened. You saw the first big proof in Miami. May climbed, kept 2 hands tight in traffic, then ripped a strike to Ramondre Stevenson. From there, the tape kept paying it off. Coaches cut those clips every week. This is why we drill it. The signature rep might have arrived versus the Saints. 3rd and 11, Heat screaming off the edge. May felt the collapse without panic, protected the rock, and hit Mac Hollins over the middle for 16. The building erupted. That was more than a conversion. It was confirmation. Vrabel singled it out afterward. Pocket presence, feel, decision transfer from practice to Sunday. That's the difference between a talented quarterback and a trustworthy one. That's how an offense cuts the giveaways, stretches drives, and starts dictating pace in the 4th quarter instead of reacting to it. It's quiet growth, but it changes ceilings. So what does all of it add up to? A quarterback playing with control and bite, a coach embedding a standard, a front office scanning for one last offensive answer, and lining up defensive insurance in case December turns attritional. That's the winning formula. The road to January runs through details, and New England is sweating those details now. If you're as fired up as we are, drop your take. Swing big for a veteran wideout, ink one of the DBS, or pocket the picks and roll with the room. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and keep the comments flying, because we'll be right back here tomorrow, pushing toward the only month that matters. Tell me what you would do right now. Would you trade for a jump ball specialist, add a long press-ready corner, or trust the depth and keep building chemistry? Your voice sets the tone here. If you've got a stat, a clip, or a counterpoint, drop it below and challenge the room. This channel thrives on sharp takes, respectful debate, and receipts on Sunday. Tell me what you would do right now. Would you trade for a jump ball specialist, add a long press-ready corner, or trust the depth and keep building chemistry? Your voice sets the tone here. If you've got a stat, a clip, or a counterpoint, drop it below and challenge the room. This channel thrives on sharp takes, respectful debate, and receipts on Sunday. Tell me what you would do right now. Would you trade for a jump ball specialist, add a long press-ready corner, or trust the depth and keep building chemistry? Your voice sets the tone here. If you've got a stat, a clip, or a counterpoint, drop it below and challenge the room. This channel thrives on sharp takes, respectful debate, and receipts on Sunday. Tell me what you would do right now. Would you trade for a jump ball specialist, add a long press-ready corner, or trust the depth and keep building chemistry? Your voice sets the tone here. If you've got a stat, a clip, or a counterpoint, drop it below and challenge the room. This channel thrives on sharp takes, respectful debate, and receipts on Sunday. We read everything, sound off, stay loud, and let's chase January together.